Today we're going to rediscover San Francisco. So I used to live in the city and I left there about 10 years ago. During this past 10 years, I feel like the city has changed a lot more than the previous 10 years that I was living there. 先週末はマーテン・ルーサー・キングという、連休だったので2日間サンフランシスコを住んでみたらどうなんだろうという視点からいろいろ散策してみました。でサンフランシスコに私自身が住んでいたのは1996年から2011年まで、その間15年間もうほとんど開発とかもなくてあまり新しいビルも建たなかったんですけれども、ここ10年で一気に開発されたエリアとか新しいコンドミニアムとかレストランとかいろんなものが立ち始めてかなり変化しているというイメージだったので、今回ちょっとそのエリアを散策してみました。Hi, my name is Yuki. Hope you're doing well. On the Martin Luther King weekend, I explored the newer and developing side of downtown San Francisco, which is South Beach, China Basin, and Mission Bay. It's the east side of Market Street, which is the main street from Twin Peaks all the way to the Bay. Some of these areas didn't exist as a livable neighborhood when I left the city in 2011. So let's explore. So many new buildings and condos were built in recent years, especially in these newer neighborhoods. There are lots of great new cafes and bakeries throughout the city now, much better quality in general than what we had prior to around 2010 or so. We only had very few gourmet cafes and pastry shops when I was living there. Back then, it was mostly chain stores like Starbucks, Pete's, Tolly's. I think Blue Bottle is among the first cafe that took over Starbucks in popularity. Many people in the Bay Area seemed to be anti-Starbucks then because of the way they destroyed and killed many mom-and-pop coffee shops throughout the city. So when the Blue Bottle opened its doors, many of those people jumped on it because Blue Bottle had cleaner image, served something new and different. This is something great about San Francisco, America. The market always allows competitions and disruption. You swipe left on the old and right on the new, just like a Tinder. And as a customer, you get to enjoy the new and better. And for the record, I personally never used the app. This all happened around the time when the mayor of San Francisco took friendly approaches to tech and startup companies. So the city started to attract tech companies as well as young techies. Soon after, the city became more innovative, even in the food industry. Especially, I noticed many of the French and California cuisine restaurants became more experimental and started to incorporate various Japanese ingredients and flavor into their dishes. I'm a little biased, but I like to think that Japanese cuisine had positive influence in the San Francisco food scene. And of course, that's largely because San Francisco is very open as a culture. Napa annually hosts Worlds of Flavor Conference at CIA, which stands for Culinary Institute of America. In 2010, the theme was Japan. Over 50 chefs from Japan, ranging from kaiseki masters to tempura specialists, flew in to participate in the conference. A huge number of these chefs are Michelin-starred chefs from Tokyo to Kyoto, making this event a real once-in-a-lifetime assemblage of talent. Within a few weeks, on the menu at French Laundry, I saw Japanese ingredients such as jidori, akita komachi, yuzu, kanzuri, edamame, mizuna, fuyukaki, and matsutake. As recent as 2019, there were 8 Michelin-star restaurants in the San Francisco Bay Area, along with 28 other Michelin-star restaurants. But until 2015, San Francisco actually didn't have any 3-star restaurant. Another new food trend here seems to be a bento box concept. The store I stepped in had many choices of lunches and dinners packed, each in a small container, and great selections of desserts and small dishes. This store opened about 3 years ago, and I saw another store very similar to this that are new in the area too. So these small single bento style meals packed conveniently for singles had been pretty common and popular in Japan for years. But I didn't used to see them much in San Francisco, but now here it is. I'm very impressed. San Francisco is known as the city for forever young, forever single. So San Francisco is the 3rd in the nation for being single, and after Atlanta, Georgia, and Denver, Colorado. I have no clue why Atlanta and Denver attract singles, but anyways, it totally makes sense to make busy yappies and techie life easier and give them choices for a quick bite to eat. サンフランシスコのダウンタウンのスーパーどんな風になってるんだろうっていう風にちょっと気になってたんですけれども、私が今住んでいる郊外シリコンバレーの方がスーパーの品揃えは充実してるのかなと思ってたんですが、今回立ち寄ったサンフランシスコのスーパーの品揃えはなかなか良くて、品質も良くてモダンだったので、これだったらダウンタウンで生活っていうのもあり得る話だなっていうふうに思いました。There are now lots of new parks and spaces created for children as well, which definitely makes the city look more livable. And I see more kids running around now than when I was living there. Or maybe it was just a neighborhood thing. Like I lived in Pac Heights and commuted to downtown to work, and those are the 2 main areas that I used to hang out when I was living in the city. サンフランシスコの治安が悪くなったと聞いていたんですけれども、今回散策したエリアではほとんどホームレスの人たちは見かけなくて、子どもたちが遊んでいるのもあちこちで見かけたので、安全だなっていうふうには肌では感じることができました。All these changes are very positive, except that things are much more expensive today, but that's not just in San Francisco, it's true in the Silicon Valley too. In 2019, I had a chance to stroll around Paris. After hitting several museums, I realized that Paris was the center of the world in the 19th century. Well, at least in the world of art. And Paris was where all the talented artists from all around the world wanted to go, live there, and exchange ideas. At the Picasso Museum, I realized Picasso was not only an extremely talented artist, but also quite visionary and innovative. He created a movement and challenged the established trend of art at the time, just like many other impressionists were doing during those times. All of a sudden, it occurred to me that San Francisco today is the Paris of the 19th century. So many talented individuals are inspired to come here and be part of the innovation. I know nothing lasts forever, but San Francisco is still the center of the world of innovation. This city grew on me.